Nicola Hill has more on this for us. And Nicola, what's going on here? What more can you tell us about this study?
Yeah, it's quite dramatic, the figures that they're announcing. It's been published in the Lancet. And what they're saying is that the numbers of women having babies are predicted to drop a lot. So what they normally expect is every woman to have 2.1 children. So that's two parents have 2 children. The 2.1 is because unfortunately some babies die. Now back in the 1950s, women had 4.7 children. By 2017, this population had dropped to 2.7. And what they're saying is that by the end of the century, women will only be having 1.7 children. And as you just said then, Rachel, it's because women have access to modern contraception, they're better educated, they've got working, and they often start having children much later. But because of this, 183 countries in the world are going to see a dramatic reduction in the number of people living in their country. And 20, I think, Japan, Italy, Thailand and Spain are going to lose more than half of their population. Now, interestingly, in the UK, that's not the same. The figures there, if I quote them here, they're going to go from 67 million in 2017 to 71 million by 2100, by the end of the century. And life expectancy is also going to increase here in the UK from 81 to 85. And what this, of course, means is that you've got this bulge, you've got a much larger proportion of the population who are elderly. They say that eventually there'll be more people reaching the age of 80 than babies being born. And that's going to have a knock-on effect with, of course, fewer taxpayers being able to provide the money for social care and health support for this ageing population. Now, not every country is going to have this. Sub-Saharan Africa is actually going to have an increase by 3 times. They're speculating by the end of the century, the population will have gone from just over 1 billion to 3 billion. So this is going to have a real impact and a real change in the way the world's going to look.
Yeah, so Nicola, what are the larger implications here? I mean, is this going to change how we live, how society works?
Well, yes. I mean, in addition to the difference in the age of the population, with this very elderly population being supported by fewer and fewer numbers of the younger, the other main impact that the authors of the study and people who've written commentaries in the Lancet accompanying it have said is we're going to have to see a change in immigration, a change in the way people move around the world. So where you've got countries perhaps at the moment resisting immigration and putting up borders, instead, they're going to be competing for people to move to their countries to help bolster the economy. It's going to have a dramatic effect on the economy of the countries that have this reduction in the population. And Richard Horton, who's the editor, Dr. Richard Horton, who's the editor of the Lancet, says that people are going to have to they need to start planning sooner rather than later. And this, of course, means ensuring that people are skilled and better educated in the countries which have the larger populations so that they can then easily move to jobs and to boost the economies elsewhere. And there's been a commentary from Professor Ibrahim Akubaka from University College in London. And he also says that he's to be a radical shift in planning and investment, better, in fact, unprecedented levels of cooperation between countries. But he also says, and I'm going to quote his words here, the distribution of working age populations will be crucial to whether humanity prospers or withers. Dramatic words.
Yeah, dramatic indeed. Okay, Nicola Hill in London, thank you.